Wow, looks like no one's controlling the railways. I'm off to the docks because I'm a really useful engine. Hi, Salty. Have you seen the Fat Controller today?
No, Thomas. I've heard he's gone out looking for new diesels. Yep, time you old steamers were given a shove. Here's your load, Tomas.
Ouch! Thanks for that, Cranky.
Thanks, Cranky and Salty. Better be off. Hi, Mavis. Have you seen the Fat Controller anywhere?
No, Thomas, I heard he was looking for new diesels.
Ah, okay, Mavis. Thank you. Hi, Percy. Have you seen the Fat Controller?
No, Thomas, but I did hear he's out looking for new diesels.
Bust my boiler, he's hard to find. Thank you, Percy. Bye. Hi, Toby, old friend. Any chance you've seen the Fat Controller?
No, Thomas, but I have heard he's out looking for new diesels. Bust my buffer, Thomas. How did you know?
Just a firebox feeling.
Tomas, it's a grand day for the railways. Look at my new diesels.
No! No diesels, no!
Tomas, wake up. Your daydreaming is causing confusion and delay. Get to the docks and get loaded now. I can assure you, that was no dream.
It's time to have a look at the massive, totally Tidmouth Playset, a set which I found in Target for $150. I'd almost guarantee it'd be much cheaper in the United States. What is interesting, I've only ever seen one of these sets in the shops, and most of the online vendors showed this set, but it's always sold out. But was it ever for sale? This is a great all-in-one set, but there's also some very disappointing aspects as well, which I feel stop it from being a must-have set. This is also the first time I've looked carefully at the take and play range, which is very clever in overall design. Inside this enormous box hides a much smaller layout of toys. There are 3 fold-out play sets, a nice selection of classic Tomas and Friends characters, some rolling stock, boat, freight and joining tracks. I'm pretty sure most of us have more than one take-along Tomas, or multiples of Tomas in any format. By purchasing this set, I have another standard take-along Tomas. 5 years ago I purchased the Tommy Tomas Ultimate set. It was a fantastic large set which had a special Tomas which has become one of my favourites for many reasons. The point I'm making here is I believe a large mega set needs something really special in them. Maybe a talking Tomas could be a start, but do we really need our toys to talk back to us? A special themed Tomas is another option which would sweeten the deal. Or how about one of the very hard to find metallic characters which would certainly raise the bar and make this set a must have. Even the addition of the Fat Controller's car would I feel complete this set. As it stands, there's no one controlling this railway. The lack of at least one set of points is disappointing, and I'll explain this later. There are also no additional signals or signs with this set. In a much smaller and simple take-along set, I found it had both points and signals. This smaller set also had the very hard to find soda caboose, which was coupled to Percy. So having these missing features in this mega set is very disappointing indeed. Well, let's take a look at the rolling stock that comes in this mega set in the round. And please tell me which one of these characters is your favourite and you feel fits this set well, but also tell me which one do you think's missing. I've certainly pointed out the things that I feel would lift this set to being a must-have item. I'm pretty sure my audience, who are very keen Tomas fans, would have some great ideas as well. And I'm really glad to see Toby as part of this lineup. I've got a lot of time for the character Toby, possibly because he's so different to the other characters in the show, and I feel there's a little bit of me in Toby there. You know, the person who's not quite bright and shiny, and the one who's the unusual suspect in a way. And what's very interesting, by you telling me which character that you like the best, it does reveal a little bit about yourself. And possibly that's why we see a lot of people saying they like Gordon or Spencer. I've often found the comments area can be sometimes more entertaining than some videos you see on YouTube. I get a lot of fun from going through and reading all the comments on some videos. And I really do hope my viewers have been going over to peruse Simierski's Buckman and Hornby Tomas and Friends comparisons. If you're ever considering getting into HO or OO Tomas and Friends characters, his videos are an absolute must-see. And I'll freely admit I'm a huge fan of Simon's work and very pleased he's a close friend on YouTube. Did anyone notice that on Mavis I've got a bonus screw factory fitted? And the Troublesome Truck has a great little feature as it trundles down the rail line. Some websites claim that this Troublesome Truck is a rare and hard to find take-along item. Is this true? These fold-out playsets are great. This Cranky at The Docks is large and nicely detailed. There's a magnetic hook to pick up the various loads, and Cranky has lots of movement. This section of this big playset is, I feel, its best feature. Of all the Crankies that I own, I feel this is the best one. A great feature of these sets is the storage available in them once they're folded up. Ah yes, this is a very nice part of this much bigger playset. Cranky's got my vote. Now let's look at the Maithwaite Station and Post Office section of this grand set. But hold on, this is Great Waterton Station, and that does not look like a post office at all. This set's starting to look like a Friday special, and inside the station is storage for an engine. The train sheds are arguably the most important part to any great railway. There's 5 lines within Tidmouth Sheds. The hinged doorways do make for a very cramped feel at the front of the sheds. A turntable allows any train to access the main line. Lots of little details are here, but much is unpainted. At the rear of Tidmouth Sheds, a large panel opens out to allow easy access, and from here, a carpet Tomas adventure can start. Sadly again, lots of small details are unpainted, and that's a real shame. If these small details were painted, it would really lift the whole look of these sheds. Notably, the Tidmouth sign is unpainted. It's sad this giant toy franchise does not do that extra detailing, which helps as a learning aid for children. Names on items is really important. Here's the whole set assembled. My set had no instruction sheet info, so I had to use the box artwork to assemble this set. Yes, it's impressive, but considering the amount of money this cost me, I feel it's also lacking. I also had some extra straight pieces of track. What was a little strange when I made this setup, and there's a peculiar thing where it has male connection there to female, which goes around here to another male. Then it goes to a male connection. And to get round that, you're given a sex change piece. So on Cranky section, it then comes around to another female. But it's got to marry up to a female. But what's a little messy between the connection between Cranky and Tidmouth Sheds is there are actually 3 sex changes used. There's the first male-male, then there's a female-female, a little bit further along, another male-male, which brings us back to a male connection to connect to the Tidmouth Sheds female connection. In all, it's quite a messy way of connecting up these sets. Remember earlier in the video I brought up how important points are, and the fact that this set doesn't have any. But they are very important because this is a closed loop. Sets of points allow you to expand this very big set into something far more impressive. I've mixed feelings about this big set. Sad I don't have Maithwaite Station and Mail Depot. Dare say the fine print on the box says bad luck. And some may laugh at my criticisms as they see this as just a children's toy, but it's also an important developmental tool. Children enjoy and deserve good detailed toys, and I'm sure the audience of my videos have some thoughts on this set as well. I'd really appreciate your comments in relation to the Totally Tidmouth set. Well, in a previous video I detailed how I collect my Tomas stuff by the lovely ladies at a charity shop down the street, and lo and behold, look what they turned up for me. I'll be darned, it's Maithwaite Station. Plus this tin of cards, some sort of mega fun tin. This is a very interesting one. It's quite old by the look of it. It says designed in Australia, and they're wooden dominoes. Now I wonder who knows about these. Designed in Australia but made in Taiwan. Now there's a domino worth having. It's a double Tomas. It says Tree Toys are the people who made this. Those dominoes look in mint condition, although the box is a little bit weathered. I've got to say, the ladies in that shop are finding me some amazing Tomas items. They found me this nice little driver's cap. It's very nice. And yet another large Tomas to add to my collection. It's got batteries underneath and there's a switch there for sound. So isn't it funny how they found me Maithwaite Station just when I had a set which had it missing? And sure, this piece has the soda mail, as it should be. Yeah, it looks like the red post office now. This piece has far better paint details than that new set that I've just bought. And let's have a comparison look between the Great Waterton and Maithwaite Station, and essentially these parts are identical except for the way they've been dressed. That's clever, but it's also a little bit cheeky as well. The silver painting on those extra bits and bobs around the Maithwaite section really do enhance the detail. Little details like this are so easy to implement, and it's really sad to see them lacking on the Totally Tidmouth set. I recently picked up this Tomas wooden railway yearbook. In here is detailed all the wooden range and some rather interesting custom Tomas models. There's also some very large wooden play sets available, and my thoughts is to choose one and to see exactly what you get for your money. These large play sets are quite expensive where I live, some of them hovering around a $300 mark. Maybe you can suggest for me a play set that you'd like me to look at. And I'm always curious at what $300 will buy you in the Tomas world. As always, thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed my look at the Totally Tidmouth playset.